You say you're comfortable with risk, but look at your calendar. Some low-stakes decisions drag on for weeks, and then the thing that actually has teeth gets pushed through in a single meeting because everyone's tired and wants it done. That mismatch between stated risk appetite and actual behavior is where a lot of hidden fragility lives.
You can usually see it in the pattern. The harmless stuff gets committeeized, the high-impact bets get greenlit on vibes, and then everyone retrofits a story about being either bold or prudent. The system reveals the truth, and the truth is often, there is no consistent rule for how much error is actually acceptable.
Today, we're going to fix that with something practical, an executive error budget. Think of it as a hard, simple answer to a question you're already acting on, whether you admit it or not. How much failure can your strategy afford in different parts of your work?
And just to set expectations, we're not doing risk theory trivia. This is one short framework you can actually take into your next planning session or one-on-one and use to change how fast you move, where you tighten scrutiny, and where you let things break safely so you can learn.
The show is the Agentic Executive. Intelligence briefings for high-leverage operators. I'm Adrian Cross.
And I'm Amelia Voss. Let's get right into the model.
First, definition. An executive error budget is simply this: a pre-decided tolerance for being wrong in a specific domain. Not in general, not philosophically, in a concrete bucket of decisions where you say out loud, we can afford this much failure at this pace.
That last part matters. You're already running an implicit error budget. You just haven't written it down. So every decision feels like a fresh debate about how careful to be. That's why you get whiplash. Slow where it's safe, rushed where it's dangerous.
When you make the budget explicit, three things happen. First, speed rises in areas where failure is cheap and recoverable. Second, scrutiny increases where the downside is real. Third, you stop arguing about feelings and start debating numbers and thresholds. Clarity is leverage.
So let's build yours in 3 moves. Classify, cap, calibrate. 3 words. If you're walking the dog or commuting, just remember those. Classify, cap, calibrate.
Move 1. Classify. You're going to sort your recurring decisions into 3 buckets: explore, exploit, and expose.
Explore is anything that's fundamentally a bet or an experiment. New product ideas, new channels, crazy hypotheses, AI agents you're piloting on a side workflow. Explore decisions create information. Their primary output is learning, not guaranteed results.
Exploit is your proven engine. Things that already work and pay the bills. Your core product delivery, your main sales motion, your established operational processes. In exploit, you're compounding known advantages. You still tolerate some error, but the priority is efficiency and reliability.
And then expose. This is anything that touches brand, legal, safety, or regulatory surface. Think customer data handling, public statements, compliance workflows, payroll, security practices. When you're wrong here, the downside isn't an internal lesson, it's external damage.
If you only do this first move, explore, exploit, expose, and map your top 10 repeating decisions into those 3 buckets, you're already ahead of most operators. But let's keep going.
Quick mental test. Think about product experiments, pricing tests, sales outreach scripts, billing and invoicing, recruiting offers, security reviews, marketing campaigns, and customer support macros. Without overthinking it, which ones are explore, which are exploit, which are expose?
Once you've classified, move 2 is cap. This is where you assign a numeric error budget to each bucket. You're answering, how often are we willing to be wrong here?
over a given time period.
For Explore, you might set a very generous budget. For example, this quarter, we're fine if up to 40% of our experiments fail outright, or even 60% if the upside per win is large. The point is to say explicitly, a high failure rate is acceptable here, because failure is the cost of learning.
For exploit, the budget is smaller but not zero. Maybe it's something like no more than 2% of invoices go out with errors per quarter, or we accept that 5% of customer support macros might be suboptimal each month before we review and refine them.
And in Expose, the budget is effectively tiny. You might say, zero tolerance for security policy violations, or no more than 0.1% of payroll runs with any discrepancy ever. In practice, you may hit slightly above zero, but the budget tells everyone this is where precision is non-negotiable.
Notice what we're not saying. We're not giving you permission for sloppy execution. We're defining bounded, intentional error where it serves a purpose, and tightening the screws where the world can hurt you back.
Exactly. The danger is when people hear error budget and think, great, we can be reckless. That's not the point. The point is to stop treating a failed Explore experiment like a scandal, while also refusing to treat an Expose failure like it's just part of the learning curve.
Move 3. Calibrate. This is where you plug the error budget into how you actually work, how deep reviews go, where AI is involved, and how many approval layers exist.
A simple rule of thumb: high error budget, light process. Low error budget, heavy process. Explore gets lightweight checks and fast cycles. Expose gets deep checks, slower cycles, and fewer chances for improvisation.
Take AI, for example. In Explore, you can use AI aggressively. Let agents generate 20 campaign ideas, draft initial product specs, or sketch out alternative operating models. If a lot of that output is wrong or half-baked, that's fine. You're panning for gold.
In Exploit, AI is more of a force multiplier paired with human judgment. Think AI drafts customer emails. Humans do spot checks. AI suggests pipeline prioritization. Humans validate the top calls. You're using the machine to accelerate, but within a controlled lane.
In Expose, AI should not be the final authority. You can use it to surface edge cases, draft initial policies, or check for anomalies. But sign-off stays with humans, and your workflows assume that a model can hallucinate or miss nuance. The review depth mirrors the tiny error budget.
Same logic applies to approvals. Explore decisions might need one person and a 24-hour turnaround. Exploit decisions might need a quick peer review and weekly metrics review. Expose decisions, they get formal sign-off, documented rationale, and maybe a quarterly audit.
Let's make this concrete across 3 roles: a founder, a VP, and an independent operator. All 3 can use the same 3-row error budget. They just fill it with different numbers.
Founder first. Imagine a seed stage founder with a small team. Their Explore budget might be, we run 10 product or go-to-market experiments per month, and we're fine if 7 out of 10 go nowhere, as long as 3 show clear signal. That's a 70% failure rate, intentionally.
Their exploit budget might say, our core onboarding flow can tolerate at most a 3% drop in conversion during experiments. If a change hurts more than that, we roll back within 48 hours. And in Expose, they might commit to zero tolerance on mishandling user data and public claims about security.
Now, take a VP of operations in a mid-sized company. Explore for them might be process experiments. We'll trial 2 new staffing models per quarter, and it's okay if one completely fails, as long as it doesn't put SLAs at risk for more than a week.
Their exploit error budget could say, No more than 1% of shipments can be delayed beyond our promise window in any month. If we exceed that, we pause experiments and troubleshoot. And in expose, they might set a threshold like 0 missed regulatory filings, ever.
For an independent operator, a consultant, a fractional leader, Explore might be, I'll test one new offer or positioning angle per quarter, and it's fine if it doesn't land, as long as my core revenue isn't impacted by more than 5%.
Their exploit budget. I tolerate at most one dropped ball on client communication per quarter, maybe a late response, but never a missed deadline. And expose might include 0 tolerance for inaccurate invoices or misrepresentation of my capabilities in proposals.
If you listen to those 3 examples, the pattern is simple. The numbers change, but the structure doesn't. Explore has a high error budget. Exploit has a moderate one. Expose is tiny. Then everything else, AI usage, approval depth, review cadence, snaps to that structure.
So here's your action step for today. 10 minutes, 1 page, 3 rows.
Row 1. Explore. List your top 3 types of experiments. Next to each, write a quarterly error budget. For example, 50% of new content formats can flop, or 4 out of 10 outbound campaigns can underperform, as long as we learn something specific.
Row 2. Exploit. List your core engines, revenue processes, delivery workflows, core ops. Set a tighter numeric tolerance, maybe less than 2% invoice errors per quarter, or no more than 1 major client escalation per month.
Row 3. Expose. Write down anything that, if it goes wrong, hits brand, legal, safety, or trust. Then write tiny numbers. 0 tolerance where it truly matters. And if you can't make it 0 in practice, make the threshold so low that everyone treats it as a red line.
Once you've done that, pick one workflow and calibrate it. Maybe it's how you use AI in your sales process. Maybe it's how you approve marketing campaigns, or how you push changes to production. Adjust the depth of review and the AI involvement so it matches the error budget you just wrote down.
If you do just that, classify your decisions, cap your error budgets, calibrate one workflow, you'll move faster where it's safe and slower where it's necessary, instead of the other way around.
If this kind of structured lens on risk, AI, and execution is useful to you, subscribe to the Agentic Executive. These are short, focused briefings designed so you can make sharper decisions in under 10 minutes and get back to running the system.
Patterns create power. Get the pattern of your error budgets right, and a lot of other debates disappear.
Make your next move count. Stay agentic.